Hi viewers, welcome to our channel Learn and Grow. Today we are going to discuss about 18 elements of PPAP. PPAP is nothing but production part approval process. In this video, we are going to discuss about only first 9 elements. First, we will look into what are the 18 elements of PPAP. Design documentation or design records, engineering change documentations, customer engineering approval, design failure mode and effects analysis, that is DFMA, process flow diagram, process failure mode and effects analysis, that is PFMA, control plan CP, measurement system analysis MSA, dimensional results, records of material or performance test, initial process studies, qualified laboratory documentations, appearance approval report, sample production parts, master sample, checking aids, customer specific requirements, and then part submission warrant, that is PSW. First, we are going to discuss about design documentation or design records. In design documentation shall include both a copy of customers and suppliers drawings. In this documentation, it also includes a copy of purchase order. Why we need to add this purchase order is to ensure that the correct part is being ordered and the correct revision level of drawing is being used to produce a part. The second thing is the design engineer is responsible for verifying the both supplier and customer drawings are matches and all critical and key characteristics have been identified or ballooned. The third thing is the material composition needs to be verified to ensure whether the parts are meet with the customer specific requirements. Design documentation, which includes balloon drawing, identification of special characteristics, ensure whether the right revision level of drawing is being used or not, and also include the component drawing, because some of the companies are producing the assembly part or machined parts is being used. So for that, some of the sub assemblies are there, and in sub assembly some of these child parts are there. So those drawings availabilities needs to be checked. Bill of materials BOM and referred engineering specifications. Some of the specifications like material specifications or plating specification, some special process specifications might be there. Those things are needs to be verified, and material specifications also need to be verified, and the performance test of the particular part needs to be verified. These are all the main documentations for design records. The second element is engineering change documentations. If the PPAP is being required for a change of part or a product, the documentation of requesting and approving the change must be included in the PPAP package. In ECN, usually the approved ECN and specification of the particular ECN and feasibility studies. In case of any supply change, the supply change request needs to be attached, and sub-assembly drawings are affected, that also needs to be attached, and life or reliability test requirements if any. So those changes needs to be approved by our customer engineering department. The third element is customer engineering approval. The customer engineering approval is required as a part of PPAP process. The supplier must provide the evidences of all approvals. If required, the customer can order pre-PPAP samples for on-site testings. The supplier must produce all the samples and need to ship as earlier for testing purpose. If the testing is completed, the test engineer will provide the approval form, which also included in the PPAP submissions while the supplier is submitting for customer approval. A copy of temporary deviation is normally required to submit customer prior PPAP approvals. The fourth element is design failure mode and effects analysis. The design failure mode and effects analysis is also called as DFMA in a short form. The DFMA needs to be done in a cross-functional activities that examines the design risk by exploring the possible failure modes and their effects on product or customers and the probability to occur. These failures can include product malfunctions, reduced performance or product life, safety and regulatory issues. The DFMA is a living document that should be reviewed and updated throughout the product life cycles. In my channel, I also posted the FMA videos for your reference. For more details, you just review that video. I have given a link in the descriptions. The fifth element is process flow diagram. The process flow diagram outlines the entire process for assembling the component or manufacturing a component or a product, subassemblies or final assemblies in a graphical manner. The process flow, which includes incoming material receiving to shipping materials to our customer. The sixth element is process failure mode and effects analysis, that is PFMEA. The PFMEA reviews all the steps involved in the production process to identify any potential process quality risk, and then it needs to be documented to apply for a controls. In our channel itself, we have already provided the PFMA video description. In description, I have given a video link. You just refer the PFMA video for more details. The PFMA is also a living document that should be updated even after the product is in normal production or mass production. The seventh element is control plan, CP. The control plan is an output from the PFMA. So whatever we described in the process failure modes and effect analysis, the output of PFMA is control plan. The control plan lists all products, special characteristics and the inspection methods required and to deliver the product continually to meet the customer quality requirements. In our channel, I have clearly given a separate control plan video. In description box, you could see the YouTube video link. You also refer that video for control plan in more details. The eighth element is measurement system analysis study. It's also called as MSA studies. The MSA study will include gauge repeatability and reproducibility (GR&R) studies on measurement equipments which is used during the assembly or quality checks controls. The calibration records for all gauges and measurement equipments must be included in the MSA study analysis. Ninth element is dimensional result. The dimensional layout of a sample part is required to validate a product meets the customer specification which is given in the customer drawings. The sample should be randomly selected for a significant production. Usually at least 30 pieces needs to be submitted or needs to be produced or needs to be checked for a dimensional layout. Each and every dimensions in the drawing needs to be measured and final assembly to make sure that fall within the specifications given in the customer drawing. The results are recorded in a spreadsheet and included within the PPAP submissions. While we are submitting the PPAP, the dimensional results also play a major role through which we can able to identify whether all dimensions are meet the customer specifications or not. Hope you all have a clear idea about first 9 elements of PPAP. The second part will be released shortly. Thank you all for providing continuous support to our channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.